Hi guys, it's album review time. I've been sent this one early. It's The Brave and Gravedigger. This is out August the 13th. It's an independent release, 13 tracks from this Christian melodic hard rock band. You know what? These guys are great. They really are. I mean, to come back after all these years, I mean, they had the brilliant Battle Cries out in the early 90s, had another album out as well, and then they was gone for so many years, and now they've come back stronger than ever. Their album last year, Evie's Little Garden, critically acclaimed, highly thought of, just an amazing album. So now they're back only a year later with Gravedigger. So, man, this is a great album. There's loads of variation, just like there was in Evie's Little Garden, maybe a little bit more, but not too much. It always, obviously it never takes you straight out of the melodic hard rock feel of the album, but just loads of different stuff on this album to think about and make it a real interesting listen. I would say synths are used a little bit more on this album, but really cleverly. Sometimes quite surprising, some of the synth sounds across this album, which I really like the synths on this. And they're used differently, depending what songs they are. The guitars are up in the mix like they always are on a Brave album, and the choruses are just absolutely huge across this album as well. So when I say they sort of, you know, give you different styles, like I said, always in the melodic hard rock, but, you know, a little bit bluesy sometimes. Sometimes a little bit poppy, I would say, but don't let that put you off. That means popular, by the way. But what I mean is by poppy is, you know, it sounds like it's a huge, some of these songs are huge, like they would be hits, definitely, even now. But who knows? Who knows? This band definitely deserves it. So in this band is Stacey Roberts on the vocals, guitar, and he does the synths as well. Malcolm Paris on the bass and John Spittle on the drums. They're just a great band, man. I mean, this is such a solid album all the way through. And I'm going to talk about every track on this album because there's so much variation as well. I want to give you a little insight to the track. So you start off with Gravedigger, which is the single, the first single, bit of a creepy beginning, a little bit eerie, then a lot of demon voice comes in, and then they get into the song. And this is what the Brave are all about, groove. Total groove and a hook that other bands would kill for. An excellent bluesy opener. Then they carry on that sort of bluesy feel into Bad Day. The second song, the hooks though are ever present again, like they always are. Great sort of fitting bluesy solo, if you like, just to fit perfectly with the track. A very cool track indeed. Then we move on to Brave Nation. This was another single. Synths are very cool in this. They get a synth and a vocal start to kick off. Great groove fueled guitar riff to go alongside. An ultra catchy chorus that has a sort of stop start almost. I love rock and roll sort of feel to it. Joan Jett feel. The catchiest track so far, I would say. Eternal is next. I love this song. It's a beautiful acoustic guitar and vocal start. The guitar sort of has almost a medieval sound to it. The atmosphere on this song is just ramped up to the max in this beautiful ballad. This song is so well executed. It does change up sort of halfway through into like more of a power ballad, and the guitars and that come in, almost split in two halves if you like. An expertly crafted ballad, I would say, and solo to go along with that. The solo is amazing. It really oozes melody and class. I love the solo. It really stood out on this one. Ghosts is another track that's great. Another horror-esque sort of intro leads to a really darker track for me. I love the way the band sort of experiment with different textures and feels, as I said at the beginning, and this is another example of that. The chorus again, it's so catchy. Doesn't matter what sort of song they do, the chorus is always catchy, with an almost sort of synth pop feel to it, I'd say, sort of to go alongside with the guitar riffs. An almost progressive feel on this song. Temples is the next track. The band sort of return to their slightly bluesy edge that they've got, especially in that groove-laden chorus. This is a real fun track with some great sort of piggy guitar rhythms. Alive is the new single. Man, I love this song. I touched upon this song in my review of it, in my reaction. This was written way back when the band first started. So it has a real late 80s, early 90s feel to me. Brilliant screams here from Stacey Roberts. He really sort of stretches his voice in this one. This is a great track. My favourite of the singles, actually. An expertly crafted 80s track, I would say. The next track is Heaven Knows. This is another ballad, and a brilliant ballad as well. Synth driven, I would say. This sounds like it was pulled just straight out of 1986. I love this song. It's an excellent, passionate ballad that would have had hit written all over it, you know, coming out at the right time. For me, some White Snake influence on this one. It's a great track. Someone's Watching Over Me is next. This is a bit different again. It's like an acoustic track with synths coming in and out. I think listening to this song, sort of in the same style as Runaway Train by Soul Asylum. Much better than that, by the way. But in that sort of style with the acoustic guitar going for it. It's more upbeat, but some great vocal harmonies throughout. Love Is the Only Place is track 10. A medium pace song. You can't get catchier than this. Pure summer feel-good song, this one. Great 80s inspired vocal harmonies. Sort of lift an already ridiculously catchy track. The Undertaker is track 11. This is another sort of change in direction a little bit, I would say. An almost psychedelic, bluesy track. They really know how to push boundaries, I would say, without ever stepping outside of the genre, which I said before. The groove in this song is ridiculous. Track 12 is Afterlife. This is a cool track as well. It's almost isolated vocal with piano and keys. Instruments are sort of introduced later on, but the feel of the song doesn't ever really leave the feel that it started with in the beginning. Very subdued. Stacey only really uses his range at the end of the track. What a great vocal he's got. Strange New World is the last track. An ultra catchy track to finish. Sounds like a hit. That's all I can say. It really does. The band knows melody as much as any other melodic rock band out there, especially with tracks like this. It's a little bit poppy, I would say. You know, that's not a bad word, by the way. You know, it's not. They don't ever venture into rap or dance music. It's just rock with, you know, that pop edge to it, but in a real hooky way. Man, this is another great album. I'm sure this is going to be loved by critics and fans alike. I've got to say though, man, it's an outstanding job by the guys in the band, let alone Stacey, who I've mentioned a few times, Malcolm Paris on the bass and John Spittle on the drums. Such a solid outfit these guys are. You know what I mean? They say that sometimes Christian melodic hard rock, you know, that, you know, sometimes lacks in the genre of melodic hard rock in general. These guys push the boundaries. I think they're at the top of their game, and push anyone, Christian or secular, you know, to the limits. They're an absolutely brilliant band. Love them, absolutely love them. The Brave Gravedigger, it's a definite buy, this one, guys. Let me know what you think, guys, in the comments below, and I'll see you soon.